guys, well, we are out here on a bright, hot, sunny, windy day to test the bulletproofness of a flak jacket. This is I believe an early 80s model US flak jacket. These come in all shapes and sizes and countries of origins. I've seen them online, places like eBay and at milsurp shops and things like that. Usually they start around 40-50 bucks, and I've seen them as expensive as 150. The idea is to test just how bulletproof these are. Some people say they're bulletproof, some people say they're not. I've got 6 handguns here. I do not expect it to do better than that. But I've got 6 handguns here ranging in 22 on up to 357 Magnum. I personally expect it to get penetrated probably somewhere around 9mm. But we'll see. We'll see. If for some reason it stops even a 357 Magnum, I'll pull out the AR and we'll try that. But we're going to start with 22, work our way up and see just when we get penetration on this particular flak jacket. As I said, there's many different types out there depending on the country of origin, age, that kind of thing. Maybe your flak jacket is better than this one. Maybe it's worse, who knows. Like anything, as they get older, they do tend to degrade. But the idea is basically just to figure out if this is a viable option for people on a budget. If you can pick one up for 50 bucks, is it viable in at least some situations as a defensive tool? So that's what we're gonna do. So let's go ahead and jump over here. We're only about 5 yards out, self-defense distances, so we're gonna be pretty close. Let's go ahead and start with the 22. All right, well here we are. We're probably about 10-12 feet away. I've got a Ruger SR22. We're just gonna put one round right in the center of the jacket and see what it does. All right, let's go check it out. Okay, so what we got here is we basically have the round. It went in right here through this flap and it hit right here. And so we've got the round, which is pretty firmly embedded right there in the center. It did not go through, did not penetrate. Now part of that might have been because this is the overlap part, so you've actually got 2 layers of protection. You got here and here, but it didn't even penetrate the first layer. So we've got the round right there, which I'll pick out later. But yeah, so it did fine with the 22, so let's move on from there. All right, next up we've got just a cheap little Raven Arms 25. By all accounts, this is actually probably going to be less powerful than the 22, but let's try it out and see what we got here, okay? All right, let's check it out. Okay, well, right here, we see we hit it right here, just on the other side of this flap here. Now, I'm turning it around, and there is nothing on the inside. It basically penetrated the outer material, but did not penetrate inside. I'll probably cut it open a little bit later, but I can feel the round moving around in there. So it didn't even embed itself as deep as the 22 did. It just kind of went past this outer layer of fabric and then just is loose inside there. So, as I suspected, the 25 didn't even do as well as the 22 did. So let's jump to the next thing up. All right, next up, we've got a little Taurus TCP 380. Let's go ahead and see what it does. All right, let's check it out. All right, so 380 right up here, up towards the upper left chest. We definitely got it going in the front, but we have nothing on the back. The bullet itself, I think, went in and it fell down in here somewhere. I can't feel the bullet in the hole. I can see just from the layers that it did break through at least a couple layers of the material, but did not come through at all right here. So now it's time to step on up to a 9mm and see what happens. All right, here we are. We got the 6 Hour P228 9mm. Let's see what happens. All right, let's check it out. All right, so here we go. We've got our penetration point right here. This is where it went into the jacket. Let's crack it open, see what happened on the inside. And here we have an exit point. So as I suspected, it stopped at 9mm. 9mm is pretty much what it would take to go through a flak jacket, which of course 9mm is pretty common. In fact, the most common handgun round out there. So the jacket fails to completely stop a 9mm round. All right, guys, well, there you have it. We had our flak jacket. It stopped a 22, 25, a 380. Probably also would have stopped a 32 ACP, but did not stop a 9mm. 9mm penetrated, as I was pretty sure it would. Now, as I said, not all flak jackets are created equal. There are many different types from many different countries, but I think this is a good baseline to get a bead on whether or not this is something that you might want to use for defense. Now, I will say that even though 9mm penetrated, I think it's fairly safe to say that the jacket itself took a lot of the force, a lot of the penetration out of the round, so it would have had a lot less damage to the body. Okay, so it does offer a level of protection even when the round penetrates the jacket. It's going to slow that bullet down a lot. It's going to take a lot of the brunt force from that. So there's still some defensive options there. Would I recommend this as a defensive option? If you're only going to spend 40 or 50 bucks, absolutely. If you're going to spend $100 or more on one, then I would just go ahead and get standard body armor. Whether it's soft armor, plate armor, whatever. Go ahead and bump it up, spend the $200, get a proper vest. But yeah, for 40 or 50 bucks, it does offer a level of defensive protection that is worth that amount of money. But I don't think it's worth any more than that. So that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully this was informative to some of y'all out there, and hope you enjoyed it. So I'm gonna get out of here. Appreciate you watching. We'll talk to you guys later. Thanks.